you got to let that go. I know that's hard. Okay? But it's going to eat you up inside.
I kinda like you.
Hey everybody, Stephen Bastian. Thought I'd give you a twofer today since it's Friday the 13th and talk about jealousy in all its ugly forms. I had touched on this on an earlier episode. I think it might have been a supplement. And I had talked about how one form of jealousy, especially when you're in a relationship, that jealousy can be due to a lack of trust. That either you did something in the relationship to cause that person to doubt you or to mistrust you, or they have trust issues from a previous relationship. Either way, it sucks. It's easily fixed because you can reestablish that trust and let that person know that you're not going to do that anymore, or that they can trust you, or, there's nothing to worry about. A lot of times it's fear. You may not have even have done anything to cause that. It may just be fear, the fear of loss. The fear of loss causes jealousy. For you Star Wars fans, the Jedi Code talks about that. Or not the Jedi Code, but, I think it is a Jedi Code, but they talk about how fear of loss, the attachment, is bad for the Jedi because it causes the fear of loss. And then the fear of loss leads to the dark side, of course, because fear leads to anger and, the rest of that. It's true. It does take you to a very dark place because it builds and builds and builds. And first off, it starts off with like, who's he or she talking to? Who's he or she going out with? What's going on with that? Some of you go as far as to check the other person's phone, make sure there's no conversations that could be misunderstood, and understand that whatever you're reading is probably out of context. Bad idea. The best thing to do is to stop the jealousy and to reassure that person that it's going to be okay. They have no reason to doubt you. You have to convince them of that if it's true. If it's not true, then you got a whole bunch of other problems. Can't help you with that. The other form of jealousy is almost a type of envy in a way. Let's say you like somebody, you're crazy about someone, maybe even in love with that person. And there's that imbalance I was telling you about in a previous episode. One person's here, ready to commit, the other person, let's just be friends for now. That can cause problems in this arena because, see, they wonder who else is he or she talking to. Same situation. Only you're not with that person. Now, the other person could tell you, hey, look, we're not together. I can do whatever the hell I want to do. You're still going to be upset because someone you care about is showing attention and giving validation to someone else. You might see a picture on their story and they didn't post it to their Facebook page, which 9 times out of 10, as you all know, if you post something to your story, it's probably because you were chatting with somebody and you sent them something and it says share a story. Which is fine. It's that person's prerogative. See, where I had hinted at earlier that it might be your fault that the other person's jealous if you're in a relationship because maybe you did something to cause that mistrust. Maybe there were little white lies or little innocuous lies that made that person go, wow, that person lied to me. That's something that you can fix by fixing that situation, as I said. This kind of jealousy is hard because you're not in a relationship with that person. And that person's jealous because, oh, like I said, almost envious because you're spending your time with someone else, or you're showing attention to someone else, or you're talking to someone else. If you're in that situation and you are that person, the only person that can help you is you. Okay? Because the person that you're jealous of is not in a relationship with you. You may be just friends, and maybe you're in love with her or him or her. It works both ways, guys and girls. You're in love with him or her, but that person's not in love with you. And it's imbalanced. That person you're in love with can't help you because they have, like I said, every right to talk to whoever they want, to do whatever they want. They're not in a relationship. There is no commitment. Even if you were dating and you hadn't made that, as I said in another earlier episode, you haven't made that commitment. You haven't become exclusive. You're not boyfriend and girlfriend. You're not changing your Facebook status. Okay? You got to let that go. I know that's hard. Okay? But it's going to eat you up inside. If you're in that situation and you're jealous and you're wondering who that person's talking to and why aren't they answering my texts, because are they talking to somebody else, and you are literally driving yourself crazy at that point. You become paranoid, and it's hard to focus on anything else. You become obsessed. It leads down a very, very dark path. Like I said, if you're in that situation, the best thing you can do is do nothing. Don't confront the person on it. Don't talk to them about it. Don't even have a conversation about it, because trust me, they don't want to hear it. All it's going to do is piss that person off. You have to deal with this internally. Back off a little bit. Give yourself some space and some room, and if it's just get out of that situation, because no good can come from that conversation at all. At all. You're going to have to deal with that on your own, and you better get a handle on it, because if you don't, you're going to lose that person you're in love with, because they're only going to put up with that crap for so long. I know this is a very short episode. There's nobody watching live. I hope you guys are still interested in this. I hope you guys still like this, and you want it to go farther. Let me know. Let me know. If this isn't something that you guys think is going to be beneficial to everyone, if you don't agree with my opinions, if my opinions are all way off and I'm an idiot, tell me I'm an idiot. Leave me comments when you watch this later on. I love a good debate, and I have no ego when it comes to stuff like this. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, and I will either fix it or defend my position, or we'll agree to disagree. Either way, I wish everybody the best. Have a happy Friday the 13th. Oh, I wanted to talk to that reminds me, I almost forgot something very important. When you're in that kind of relationship where there's imbalance, you're the one chasing. And you think about, since it is Friday the 13th, think about Jason. The girl can jump over a log and run through the woods and bouncing off of trees and left and right and over a river and through all kinds, and jumping over a hay bale and onto a roof and down off the roof and keep running across a field of corn and trip and fall over a stick, and Jason's right there. I always found that hysterical. Like, he's just walking real slow and she's running full out, and she falls on a stick and trips over a stick, and there he is, hacking her up into pieces. It's great in the movies, but in real life, nobody wants to be with a monster. So, get a handle on it. You don't have to chase. Just be cool. Let things unfold the way they're supposed to. And one way or another, everything's going to be okay. Either that person is going to find someone else and live happily ever after, in which case, if you really care about them, You'll be happy for them. Or they're going to be with you. And you'll live happily ever after with the person of your dreams. If you love that person, either way, it's going to be all right. I'm Stephen Bastian. This is the relationship life. That was interesting. Anyway, be good to each other. I'll see you tomorrow.